Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris and this is Restoration Rescue. So in last week's video, we came in and we were continuing working on the hood of the C10. We ground off all of that old ugly metal that was from the original nose panel and we have it almost prepped and ready. Obviously, there's some still holes that I need to weld up. And good for us, we have some argon here so we can do some more welding. But we are not going to be doing it up there. We are going to be back on this brace, trying to get even more of this panel across, completely done. So we are going to be doing a lot of welding, a lot more grinding. We're going to make this panel look really, really, really good. So we have a lot to do today. So let's go ahead, hop right in, cut out some more of this ugly metal, and put in some nice brand new metal. Man, that is a lot of rust that we have now removed. We have this whole panel in where it needs to go. And also right here, we have a new panel here. So we literally took this all out and replaced it with some new metal. Now we have to get in here, replace in here as it's starting to rot away. Also, we have to weld in some more metal up in here. Obviously, we have this huge hole. We'll get to that hopefully today, maybe next week. But I still have a lot of panel to remove and keep cutting as it is pretty rusty. So we're going to lift you up and kind of show you guys again what we are dealing with rust-wise. So let's get up and move over. So you can see that hole that through and through right here. Now that's pretty bad. Obviously you have a hole here and it keeps going. I don't know if you guys can see it. It looks like I took a bite out of that. And it goes all the way over into here. We replaced that panel a long time ago. We're going to start coming down here as well. Start replacing it all the way and try and meet in the middle. But first, we're going to come back over to this side over here, if I can, and remove in this area. So this is going to be a little bit tougher. We're going to cut it maybe, all the way back into here, minus these little curves, and remove it and put a piece of metal in. Then continue to patch it as we go down and get towards the middle. The middle is where it is the worst and the one place I'm most worried about out of this whole panel. Otherwise, it's pretty easy rust repair. I'm not really afraid, I just don't like it. So now let's go ahead, cut out this metal and continue welding towards the middle. And once we get to about here, I'm probably going to move over to that side and start making it a lot easier and moving it in, so all we would have left is that. So let's go ahead and start cutting. So that's looking a lot better. We have more panels in. We've gotten pretty much that corner, all the way to the corner to about here done. Doesn't seem like a lot as there's that whole rest of the panel to go. However, it has taken quite a bit of time. Quite a bit of gas. We're getting there, but we're going to start doing something a little bit different. So this patch panel we did, it was kind of long, so it took a little bit of time. So obviously we have pretty much this whole panel right here to replace, and I'm not ready to just cut it all out. I want to start making smaller patch panels and just small ones as we go down the panel until we reach the center. Obviously we have this huge gaping hole right here in that center brace. We have a lot of work to do here to get this where it needs to be. There's some holes in here. I'm pretty much going to have to cut this entire piece out. So that is something every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, I could do that. And then I look at it again and I get a little scared. Just nervous that I won't be able to make it. And that would be the halting point in this project, which would really, really, really be bad. But we are working towards getting to the center panel. We have that whole other side left to do. That one, we just did that little corner piece that's over here. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to start making smaller cuts down this panel to make new patch panels. It is a little difficult because I keep having to move around, weld, cut, grind. Obviously, every time you weld, you kind of want to grind it back, make it look better. It's coming along. It's going to take a long time to get this panel straight, get it to where it needs to go, and get it back in the truck. We still have that hole gaping on the side of the hood here. Everything in the front pretty much is ready to go. I have some welding to do along that front brace, get that original nose panel back in, not the original, the new patch panel there, back in the front, make that look good. There's still a dent over there that I'm still working on to get out, and we have this here. So we have a lot of time left on this hood to go, so we need to start picking up and putting down. So we're going to cut out and start working our way down. There's not going to be a lot to weld to as we go down, as there's big holes. If I can pull this up a little bit, I can't really, but there's a big hole right here. It looks like somebody took a bite out of it. Not as bad as that side. But we're going to start making smaller patch panels, working our way down, just to make it a little bit easier on us so that we can start making it quicker as it goes down. Because the longer the patch panel, the longer it is cutting it in, grinding it in, getting everything set up, welding it, grinding it back, welding it, grinding it back, welding it, grinding it back, and it just takes a lot of time. This panel right here, if I had cut it up in little pieces, probably takes me, 2-3 hours, because I can weld more on that little panel, get it straight, and then keep going down and dissipate my heat so I don't warp any panels. So let's go ahead, hop in, make a cut, and make a panel. So I decided we need a break from just welding on that one panel. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up to the front of the hood. Now, the reason that we come up to the front of the hood is that we need to weld more up here. So welding here is more of just filling in some holes from where that other panel had some issues. Also, I'm going to try and knock more of the dent that's right here out. The one that was right here is pretty smooth. I am going to need filler, obviously, but it's getting a lot better. So this one, I just need to knock out the majority of the dent. Hopefully that can come out pretty easy. I think I'm going to start with that. Then I'm going to start welding in some of these holes and grinding back this so that we can get prepared for the nose panel. Now, when I put the nose panel on before, it doesn't match up 100% perfect. And I'm not sure if that's the panel or if it's my truck. So this is kind of a universal fit panel, so I can imagine that it doesn't fit perfectly from the factory when they make this panel, and it's more of a patch panel. But we're going to go ahead. We are going to work on getting that ground back, and then we are going to work on getting this thing ready to go in the truck. But what we need to do is knock this dent out and fill in these rust holes, or the holes from where the metal broke away, and kind of just line everything up around the panel. Get this thing set so I can put this panel in coming up, and then we just need to continue working on rust repair on the front fascia panel. And I still got to do that hole that's in the side of this panel right here, but that's coming up. We'll do that one off camera. It's just a quick little patch. We'll get that squared away at some point, but let's go ahead, start knocking out this dent, and then start welding in these holes and grinding it back so this thing can be ready for that nose panel. So we have everything ready for that front nose panel. So there's a lot of work to do to get the nose panel ready to go on the truck. We're definitely going to have a lot of issues, I believe, when we go to weld this thing in. That's going to be a little bit of a pain just because of how awkward that panel is. I'm not 100% worried about it. I'm more worried about that front brace. We have about a quarter of it complete, and we still have the rest of it to go. So it's got a lot of work coming up to it. We have a lot of work coming up to this in channel as well. We have the 454 behind you, and we have a lot more to do here. Once we get the hood done, we'll get it on, and then we have to do doors. So we have a lot left to go. Hopefully by the 3-year mark, this thing will be in paint, but we're running out of time for that. Thank you again for everybody who stops by to the channel. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button, help us out. Make sure you hit the like button as well. That really helps us out as well. Get out to more people like you who love our channel. And we'll see you guys next Saturday when we continue working on the C10, because unfortunately we have run out of time. But again, we have the 454 coming back to the channel soon enough. Have to get some suspension work. Got to get the engine out to the machine shop, as well as get ready to tear down that transmission. But we'll see you guys next Saturday when we continue working on the C10.